Just decided to do a quick stream, or who knows? I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here, but well, um, through another source, it's been confirmed, and let's see if people gonna finally take the hint. What more than a credible source you can get from basically, I guess you could say, the other horse's mouth and Floyd Mayweather, where basically he confirmed that there won't be a fight. There will not be a fight November 19th. So if people are still talking about the fight is going to be on November 19th and it's set for November the 19th, then you need to just get off their channel. You need to just move on because that means they still in denial. Um, I mean, everything has came to the forefront now. Floyd told, sound like he was talking to Sean, shout out to Sean, a fight hype, basically saying, hey, there will not be a fight. It's not happening, not going down. Basically, and he basically broke down why I knew there wasn't going to be a fight. He explained how it works. You don't have a promotional tour. You don't have a press conference. And then what really cast a cloud of doom, that he said it may or may not happen. And if it does happen, it's going to be somewhere down the line. So, and you still got people trying to get mad at Floyd Mayweather for what people was saying from the gate. Respectable, content creators, writers, journalists, whatever you want to call it. I stood firm. Didn't budge. I made some enemies along the way, or people don't want to be cool with me because, like I said, I wouldn't follow their script. I wouldn't comply. I wouldn't do what they wanted me to do, which is sit up there and, be jumping up and down with PBC, Al Heyman, and Errol Spence pom poms. Wasn't going to do it. So because I didn't fall in line, I didn't follow that script. A lot of people kind of, a lot of people was kind of like, I'm cool on this dude. And guess what? I'm good with it because I'm cool on a lot of y'all, and I've been cool a lot of y'all. So now we know that there will not be a fight November 19th. Will there be a fight in December? Who knows? Doesn't appear to be that way. You know. So doesn't seem like this fight is ever going to happen. And it is time to accept the truth and move on from it. And if they are trying to make the fight, they're trying to age Terrence Crawford out. And we have all the evidence now who's preventing this fight from happening. And people can make all the I don't like Floyd Mayweather videos all you want, but now you see. You sat up there, you had a lot of these dudes sitting up here putting out propaganda, not keeping it real, pushing the narrative, and all their narratives got exposed, got debunked. And they mad at people who was saying, hey, these dudes, they pushing the agenda. Well, now you see. I was right all along. They don't want to make this fight. And then it's just looking like well, here's the thing. Even as they was trying to make this fight, what network is going to pick up this fight? Because the PBC's deal with Fox is about to end, and allegedly their deal with Showtime is about to end in January. So, okay, who's going to pick up this fight if you don't have a network? Does that mean the PBC could be headed towards the zone afterwards? Just asking. Just asking. But that's the problem. Nobody wanted to ask no questions. A lot of these dudes on here was banking their information off dudes who wasn't telling the truth, who was sitting up there pressing their record button and just spewing out lies. So now they don't have nowhere to go now. And then after Floyd just basically further sunk their hearts into the ground and exposed them for lying, what's gonna happen is the next day or later on the day they gonna make a whole bunch of F Floyd Mayweather videos, or this is all Floyd Mayweather's fault. No. This is the fault of who I've always told you the fault it was gonna be. I said this again. I said back in 2019 that this was gonna happen. That they was gonna start playing games. And you still got people trying to exclude Spence out of the equation and saying it's just on Al Heyman and Stephen Espinosa. Look, at the end of the day, if fighters want the fights they will push for it. Wilder wanted Fury, and he got him. But see what it come down to? The apologist is mad because they've been looking real bad out here. Because see, they've been beating their chests, hollering about how confident they is that Terrence Crawford is going to get torn to shreds. And now Terrence Crawford has made every effort to go forward and, basically talk it like he walk it. Bring this fight to fruition so we can see. And you got nothing but resistance. So, I understand. I understand it bother y'all. It bother y'all because y'all done ran out of excuses. There's nothing out there left for y'all to try to conjure up. Now we know there will not be a fight November 19th. And all this stuff about you was hearing years ago about Floyd don't run nothing. I don't get no check from Floyd. It was just talk. It was cap. And you can make an argument that it was a lie. And to that dude that went on that other media outlet and said that he saw copies of the contract and they gonna be a fight, he looking real bad right about now. He looking like he told a lie, because I can't get over that, because and I'm not trying to put him on blast, but I sense the fact that he wasn't being honest. If you are an outsider and you don't have no affiliation with neither team, you're not gonna see nobody's contracts. They're not going to just randomly put the contract out there for you to see. So that dude played himself. And all this stuff about, hey, the fight's going to happen, it's just stall tactics. They just trying to age Terrence Crawford out. And why don't and y'all just in now. That's all that's going on. Y'all in denial. Y'all don't want to accept. Y'all don't want to hear the truth. But that don't got nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with me, putting out there what need to be put out there. If you can't handle the truth, that's just on y'all. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm sorry. That's something that you gonna have to deal with. But now you guys know. So where do we go from here? What's next for Terrence Crawford? That is man. That's up in the air. Should he just go back to Top Rank? Should he go somewhere else? And then when you look at Errol Spence, I mean, should he fight? I mean, there's some options out there. There's high risk, low reward fighting in Jerron Boots Ennis. Well, we already know they ain't gonna do any business with any other promotional company. They're not gonna put them in the ring with Virgil Ortiz. Win, lose, or draw a possible win. They're not gonna make that fight. Errol Spence has said he'll never fight Keith Thurman, which I think that they still trying to make Errol Spence fight Keith Thurman. And I wouldn't be surprised that they pissed off at Errol Spence for saying that he wasn't gonna fight Keith Thurman when that was the plan and play from the very start. Keith Thurman told us earlier this year, back like I think in March, that he said he was told he was gonna fight Errol Spence. And now here we go. And I think they just trying to stall, and they trying to find a way, trying to find an angle where somehow they could still try to justify fighting Keith Thurman. But they didn't ran out of angles to where they could throw towards the direction of Team Crawford. Because they can't do he needed to take less money. He wouldn't take less money. He agreed to take less money. He became a promotional free agent. So, I don't think anybody is going to buy, well, we wanted to fight in Cowboy Stadium and he didn't want to fight in Cowboy Stadium, because then it gets to the point, okay, you're asking for too much. So they just trying to figure out how can we go forward with this Keith Thurman fight and at the same time try to put this on Terrence Crawford. Because at the end of the day, they've been running a smear campaign and they've been pulling Terrence Crawford's chain. To be honest with you, they didn't play Terrence Crawford. But nobody won't admit that. Terrence Crawford then got flat out played. Well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the super chat. I ain't here for no super chats. So don't worry about it. But yeah, it's looking real bad. It's looking real bad for it's looking bad. It's looking bad for the PBC. It's looking bad for Errol Spence. It's looking bad for Al Heyman. Because they'd installed this fight for as long as possible. I kept telling y'all that if this fight wasn't announced in the first or possibly second week of September, that there wasn't going to be no fight. But I knew there wasn't going to be no fight anyway. And let's go back in time. What did I tell y'all back in July? I said, man, when they was talking about, oh man, the fight gonna be announced on the 4th of July. And I was like, I doubt it. So now that people then heard it from Floyd Mayweather's mouth, And basically, he basically killed their agendas and lies, and basically, basically shut them down to where they can't make up any more stuff. So now they're gonna take it out on Floyd and say, "Oh, Floyd is trash and he this and that." But Floyd said a while back, he kept telling people, "Hey, man, I'm gonna be the only one that's gonna announce Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence." So, like I said, you guys didn't heard nothing but lies from everybody on that side. All that stuff about I'm my own boss. I don't have a boss. I don't answer to nobody. It was straight cap. It was straight cap. And you see the truth now. So these dudes can crawl back under the rocks they came from, or they can go tuck their tails, or they can do like Linus from Charlie Brown and put their blankets over their head and cover their face, and you know what I'm saying, real talk. Cover their face up because they've been shamed, they've been exposed, they've been caught. Like Orange Juice Jones say, don't say nothing, you cold busted. Y'all busted. Y'all busted because for months, or we pretty much could say years, that y'all been lying about, oh, PBC wants to make this fight and they want to give the fans the best fights. No, they don't. They don't want to do business with Terrence Crawford. So, like I said, and as far as the black stuff goes, you can save that black stuff. I ain't even trying to hear that no more. You can say that black stuff. You can say that, hey, don't talk about another black man like that. Like I keep telling you, Al Heyman don't give a damn about black people. You don't give a damn about that stuff. Because if he was trying to make this fight and he thought that they could turn a profit, which they would turn a profit, he could use his own money. Now, a lot of people said that he was given $1.5 billion. He took, he took 500 for himself. Allegedly. With the intentions on trying to make boxing mainstream again. That's why a lot of these, that's why they had the deals with NBC and all them type of people, because that was the main purpose. But then due to, issues, they decided to try to circumvent what was going on. And it seemed like it was a good idea. I'm like, okay, cool. Boxing finna come mainstream again. But you got to remember, to make the best fights out there, if you a promotional company or TV series, well, you're going to have certain people. PBC had a lot of fighters, but they didn't have all the fighters. They didn't have, because some of the best fighters were with other promotional companies. And that was fact. And whether you believe they was willing to do business with other promotional companies, well, it looked like the answer is leaning towards no. But then the way they ran the PBC, where you had a lot of fighters that were, disgruntled, they were unhappy, they were upset because one, they wanted fights and they wasn't able to get fight dates. Then the way they was told how certain fights were being put together, where basically, hey, you need to go to the gym, start training, and then basically, we'll let you know who you fighting later on. And then you have to understand, you getting, you hearing about a fight getting announced, then you getting all the paperwork and stuff kind of like later on, allegedly. And it's kind of like, well, damn, I should have a full 8-week camp for this dude, but I'm having like 7, 6, you know what I'm saying? And it was just the way this whole thing came about. Now, like I said before, okay, if Bob Arum got you kicked off of HBO, yeah, that was messed up. But like I said before, The best way to get even with somebody, yeah. And for people still making excuses about that lawsuit stuff was a long time ago. Okay, the lawsuit stuff was a long time ago. The PBC won. Okay, they won. The lawsuit was thrown out of court. So, okay, now what? You gonna, I mean, for real, you gonna still lean on that? You still gonna hide behind that? You gonna still put, emphasis on that and use that as a crutch not to make good fights? Okay, well, you just as bad as the people that you have an issue with. Okay, you just as bad. You just as bad, and you part of the problem. It's just like how some of these people act on some of these people on YouTube. They don't want to take no accountability for anything. Like I said, I've never claimed to be the perfect person in the world, just like everybody else. I done made mistakes. I still make mistakes, but I learn from them. And then there's just certain things you just have to move on from. Where you got to keep your composure. I had some goofy dude at my job, like, mad at me because of something that happened on the job that was his fault, that he caused the uproar about. And then, he trying to pop off at the mouth, say little slick stuff. But, I wasn't paying attention to him because I already know that I'll put dude in a coma. But I just, let it slide, saying little sleek and slick stuff. But, cool. I'm not going to sit up there and like beat you down and, lose my job or stuff like that. I'm just going to ignore you. And then due to the fact that he couldn't get a rise out of me because he thought I was just one of them typical, but at the end of the day, if it would have went down, he would have, I would have got my money's worth. But yeah, that's the same. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm saying. You got to move on. You got to let it go. You got to do what's best for the sport. So the fans have to suffer because of your vendetta. So how you helping the sport of boxing? All this stuff about networks and all that kind of stuff, y'all already know it can be done. It's been done before. It can be done. That's just real talk. It could be done. It's not like it's impossible. If ESPN and Fox could find a way to make Wilder versus Fury happen, it could be done. If HBO can find a way to make Floyd versus Manny Pacquiao happen, it could be done. And those were two of the, at the time, those were the two biggest superstars in boxing, global superstars. And you don't even have the pop, and you got to keep 100. Errol Spence, Nora Crawford has the popularity. We gonna talk in money terms. They don't have the popularity capital that neither Floyd or Manny Pacquiao once had. But yet you going through all these hurdles to try to get this fight made. And that's the problem. Actually, these hurdles were created. And then you sit up there and you say, hey, well, we want to hear everybody's, we want to hear everybody's side. Everybody involved, and you can't get nobody to basically tell the truth. Well, except for today when Floyd Mayweather told the truth and said, hey, man, that fight ain't happening. Not going to happen. Not happening in November. Once again, I was telling everybody, won't be no fight. Won't be no fight. I tried to explain to y'all how it works. You really need a 9-week camp, or at least, a 9-week camp for a fight. You need 8 weeks for training and all that kind of stuff in preparation. And then, 1 week to get ready for the fight. Final interviews, weigh-ins, all that stuff. So it's really 9 weeks. So like I said before, I kept telling y'all, I said if this fight isn't announced, worst case scenario, by the second week of September, there ain't gonna be no fight. And then you still have people making up lies, talking about, the fight is still gonna happen. And I'm talking about this is like the end of September. And you already knowing this fight ain't happening at the end of September. This fight ain't happening they ain't gonna be announced at the end of September because we headed towards October. You already know it's not going to happen, and you still got people in denial, or you still got people trying to push their lies. Still trying to get people to believe that fight was going to happen November the 19th. And we all know it now. So, like I said, sorry that I ruined a lot of you lying content creators' plans, that I spoiled your plans, and I got a lot of people looking at y'all real funny. But for real, that's what I'm saying. Y'all listen to these channels just because they got more subscribers than me and other people don't mean that they telling the truth. Why do you listen to people that don't physically and go to fights, that don't do interviews, that's not there in the field doing laying the groundwork down? I go in there with my tool belt, man. You know what I'm saying? I go in there building. You know what I'm saying? Going in there, making things happen. Talking to people. Getting information. But you listening to people, you listening to the just, bald-headed, you know what I'm saying? Least attorney dudes and a bunch of, goofballs, having people on a panel trying to attempt to talk about boxing and don't know what the hell they talking about and sounding stupid as hell. And even when you trying to, carry them, they still not making no kind of sense. And then they basically regurgitating and saying and basically, coattailing you because you have a guy that you specifically support. And a lot of these people on here was sitting up here lying. And now they lies, for real. So they scrambling. They trying to find another excuse. But who been consistent? Who been consistent? Who been consistent in telling you that there wasn't going to be a fight? And like I said before, the worst thing that could have came out is when people, and then like I said, and it's not just Al Heyman and Errol Spence and the PBC organization itself that made themselves look bad. A lot of these Errol Spence fanatics, these you know what I'm saying? The Errol Spence brigade, they were sitting up once again trying to join in on the demonization of Terrence Crawford by putting out lies. Now keep in mind, what was we told Oh, and I just want to say to a lot of you content creators, how does it feel to know that you guys got busted, that you guys were lying? When y'all was sitting up putting out reports that, Errol Spence has already signed his contract. And come to find out there wasn't no contract. And then, of course, I knew they were lying. And I said, okay, well, if you sign a contract, let's see a copy of the contract. Let's do a video of you signing the contract, or do a video since you like always, and that's all I was saying, since Errol Spence like always tweeting, show us a pic, make a video saying, okay, here go my contract. I signed it. Terrence Crawford, we waiting on you. So these dudes were exposed for lying. They were lying. They're liars. You're liars. You're frauds. You're clickbaiters. You view whores. That's what you are. And you mad. You mad at Floyd because finally the truth came out about the truth. And I know Errol Spence called himself the truth, but it sure been a lot of lies pertaining going into this fight or trying to get this fight made. No wonder he started calling himself the big fish. Which by the way, he looking more like, Bubba Gump. Okay? So looking more like shrimp. Al Heyman got him looking like the big shrimp, the little big shrimp. And I know I'm not calling Errol Spence out his name, because not only has Errol Spence fans did him a disservice, the PBC has did him a disservice because they are making it look like they are protecting him. It's just like what Max Kellerman said. It's looking like they don't want the fight. And it got to the point to where people started getting personal, saying, hey, you guys looking real bad out here, man. What the hell is going on here? What is taking so long to get this fight made? You've been hearing about you on the goal line. Closer than ever to this fight get made, and then it went from, it's definitely going down to November the 19th to maybe November the 19th now. And then Mike Coppinger, you could tell Mike Coppinger was feeling some kind of way because he was made to look like a liar. That he didn't know what he was talking about when he said, well, now I'm hearing that it may be in December. But like I said before, I feel vindicated because like I said before, I was the one, I was the one consistent. I was keeping it real about what was going on. So, like, props to myself. So, but anyway, I'll be back later on. Appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm out.